We're live. Man, what a crummy week. By crummy, I mean it sucked. I guess I'm going to hit some of this fantasy football stuff real quick, get it out of the way. This is my regular league. Well, I guess I have to share it for you to see it. Let me back up. Back it up. What am I doing? First, let's get it shared. Okay. Won this matchup. No, I didn't. Did I? What is this? Okay. This is not the regular league. This is the keep. No, this is the regular league. And I did win in this league. I beat KC Black Star Vinyl. That is Rob over at Black Star Vinyl is his channel, YouTube channel. He ran first place almost all season long. Then I ran second, and we both lost in the first round and ended up playing in the consolation game, and I barely got him in the consolation game. Joe Burrow went off. That helped me a great deal. He got good production from Allen and Jacobs, which I thought Moore and Patterson and Hill had kind of left me high and dry, but I got a good game out of Jones and a good game out of Johnson, and Carlson did well. Yeah, just barely got it. But so that was, I really wasn't even too excited about that game, to be quite honest, because it was a consolation game. I want to win. I want to win a fantasy football championship. Is that too much to ask? Apparently so. Because then we'll go back to the Keeper League, where I played in the championship game. There we go. Ouch, Dale. Yeah, I got whooped. It's okay. I tried my best in this league. I didn't have much of a bench. There weren't a whole lot of options. And yeah, so let's see. Is this going to take me to the matchup? They got a good game out of Kyler Murray, but boy, Diggs and Waddle, Chubb, they all had horrible games. Surprisingly good game out of Williams. Renfro had a good game, but yeah, not enough. I mean, he got good production almost top to bottom. I guess the one guy that I wish I had, a couple of guys I wish I had started, Byron Scott. Boston Scott. Boston Scott put up some good numbers, but I'm telling you, from looking at what he did over the season, you could see he's been getting better. There was no way I could know that he would he would do. I mean, there was no way I was going to put him in over Nick Chubb. And I obviously made a good selection with. So it would have canceled it out because he either would have gone here where Williams was or not. He didn't. So, I mean, there was not much difference. 22-70. I actually did a little better with Williams. But yeah, looking at the season as a whole, there was no way I was going to put him in over Chubb. And there's no way I could have known Chubb would have such a terrible game. Mike Evans might have helped me a little bit in one of the spots, but, so where would I have put him? Diggs wasn't coming out. Waddle's been hot. That's why he wasn't in there. And Renfrow is the one that did okay. So he probably, if I put him in, I probably put him in for Renfrow, and I would have lost points that way. Because there's no way I would have put him in over Diggs. And Waddle's just been too hot. DeAndre Swift didn't do anything. Yeah. Got to work on my bench. Start working on my bench in this keeper league. And that's fantasy football. And that's over for the year. So let's go down here. And look at last week before we get into this week. Not great. Well, I had a little rough spot here, but it's not actually doesn't look that bad now. I look at it. It's 4 games I missed out of 16, 12-4. That's not too bad. Just look kind of ugly up here. I'd give myself some grace for this. I couldn't have seen this one coming. Well, that was ugly. That was just ugly. Could have lived with it, a loss like that, if they just put up a fight. Just put up a fight. Come to the game and have something. But this showing up and just getting murdered, that's hard to take. Got Las Vegas. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Indianapolis has been playing so well lately. Okay, and then we had Arizona upset Dallas. I missed that call, but that's okay. That's just really not a bad week. Buffalo and Carolina, I had on the opposite ends of the points. Buffalo scored 29. That wasn't the highest, but it was too bad. Carolina, 10 points. Well, we had the Giants and the Dolphins putting up field goals. All right, let's get into these games. See if I can close out the season doing okay. Okay, so we're going to start Saturday. Kansas City is going to beat Denver. They need it. They really need it. They didn't. It's not like hey, Eric, good to see you, brother. I'm just now getting started on the picks for this week. Looking at this first game, Kansas City at Denver. Like I was about to say, Kansas City, they'll be okay. They're gonna win this game. They played a fired up Cincinnati Bengals team. That's not a bad loss. The Bengals are really good. And boy, what about Jamar Chase? That kid put on a show. I don't know that I've seen a wide receiver perform on that level since Jerry Rice. I mean, that was just incredible. That was such a dominant performance. That kid really played a great game. Denver, let's see here. Denver finds ways to kill good drives. Yeah, Denver's got their offensive issues. They've really got to get. They're kind of in the same boat that the Dolphins are as far as, I don't know about our offensive game plans. Then we got Dallas at Philadelphia. And I got to pick Dallas here. Philadelphia struggled with Washington last week. Looked like they were going to lose, and I'll give them credit for fighting back. Dallas upset by Arizona, but Arizona is a good team. Arizona needed to get a win like that. Arizona needed to show up and beat a team and make a statement. And they did that. It was a good, hard-fought game. I just think Dallas is a little bit too good for Philadelphia. Unless we got a weather pattern that's headed to Philadelphia, they're going to need some help, I think, to beat Dallas. But you never know. Then we've got Cincinnati at Cleveland. How is Cincinnati on the underdog side of the ledger? Are you kidding me? In fact, Cleveland has stunk it up so bad. Now I hear that what did I hear about their quarterback? I was leaning Arizona, makes for a interesting playoff dynamic. Oh, in the Arizona-Dallas game? Yeah, I had picked Dallas, but I don't think I had put much confidence on it just because they are evenly matched. And I think they are a good matchup. They're just somewhere near each other. If Arizona can if Tyler Murray can get it going, though, I think he's an explosive young quarterback. I don't know why he's struggling right now. Oh, wait a minute. I got to change this. I'm sorry. Because I see what's coming up. So we're going to take that down to a 15. Got to do that. Several competitive teams in the NFC. Dallas needs to win. They kind of feel like they're limping into the playoffs. Yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't disagree with that. That wasn't a good loss for them. But, okay, what was I getting ready to look at? Okay, so, all right, so we got Cincinnati playing really well. Cleveland, oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to, I wanted to Google the Browns because I heard something about they are having trouble. Okay. Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield to have shoulder surgery ASAP won't play this week. Wow. Um, wow, that's I was trying to look to see if they said anything about who will start in Baker's place. I don't think it matters. They really are terrible right now. Let me click on this and see what ESPN has to say about the situation. Mayfield won't play Sunday against the Bengals so he can move forward with surgery to repair the torn labrum in his non-throwing left shoulder. I had that exact same surgery. That is not fun. Stefanski said Mayfield surgery could happen as soon as this week. Mayfield could come back in time to participate in OTAs, which typically take place in May or June around the league. Yeah, that's not a quick recovery. Mayfield has been playing with shoulder injury since week 2. Wow. Admitted following Monday night's loss to the Steelers, he was pretty beat up. Mayfield was sacked 9 times in the game. I did not see the game. I didn't realize Steelers beat him up. I've continued to lay it out on the line when I haven't been healthy and tried to fight for our guys. And Mayfield has been playing with the harness on the shoulder to prevent it from popping out of place. Oh, wow. Yeah, I believe that. Wow. No, not really seeing who is going to take his place. Let's see here. Wonder if the Browns can build enough of a team and Baker can settle into a game manager situation. He isn't a game changer, but I think he can lead a winning team, and that's possible. I feel for him just from a human being standpoint. I had a torn labrum last year. Actually, it was late 2019, around October, when it got really bad, and I was having trouble sleeping. Because basically, with a torn labrum, you've kind of ripped everything front here, so I kept having shooting pain down my arm, where they kept saying that it was basically my shoulder trying to pop out of a socket in the front. So that's why I totally get him wearing a harness. I can't even imagine playing football with a torn labrum. Get down, Aretha. Yes, you get down. Get down. Get down. Come on. Thank you. So, yeah, that's painful, and that takes a while to recover. I was in a sling for how long was I in a sling? Was it 3 months or 6 weeks? Maybe I was in a sling for half of that. Yeah, I can't even remember now. I know I was tired of being in a sling by the time I came out of it. I bet the Browns wish they could draft a Joe Thomas level lineman every 5 years. I bet they do. Wouldn't everybody? I would love for the Dolphins to find some couple of Joe Thomas level linemen. Our line sucks. All right, looking at Green Bay at Detroit. That's why I had to downgrade that Bengals. I wanted to give them a slam dunk, but when you got Green Bay playing Detroit, you got to give them the 16. And I don't know. I don't know how much rest people will be getting. I mean, I could end up regretting that if Green Bay doesn't feel the need to. I don't know. Have they clinched? Eric, I'm sure you're the one that could tell me. Have they clinched playoff playoff spot, or not playoff spot, division championship. Or I guess number one seed is really what I'm trying to ask. All right, they did clinch the number one seed. So will Green Bay rest players? That's the question. And looking at news headlines, it's hard to say whether or not I'm not seeing anything saying that they're committing to resting players. I'll tell you what though, they could probably rest a few and still whip the Lions. Yeah, I doubt Aaron does either. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I may regret that 16. We'll kind of look through some of the other games and see if I want to adjust that or not. So we got Chicago at Minnesota. Minnesota seems to be playing pretty good. But Chicago played a really good game recently too. They're pretty evenly matched. We'll just not put much on that one. But we're going to take Minnesota. I always tend to favor teams that have really good quarterback play, and Cousins is a little bit ahead of anybody that the Bears have. I don't even know if the Bears are who they're starting. Are they? Is it Andy Dalton? Is it Justin Fields? I'm not even sure. Honestly, I'm not sure who really cares. The Bears just aren't one of those significant teams. Come on down. For all the flack he gets, Andy D is still quarterbacking well. Well, maybe they got a shot then. But I think I still like the Vikings in that game. But that might be one of those games where you might put a 1 on it. Washington certainly has their troubles, but they are playing the New York Giants, and the Giants suck. They really do. They're terrible. Yeah. So I don't even know. I don't even really know the whole story on the Washington, but game of no consequences, but a lot of pride. You must be talking about Minnesota and Chicago. I know that's a heated division rivalry, and maybe the Washington and Giants game is too, but the Giants are so bad. There can't be much pride there, especially when I don't know who's starting for them now. Glennon still, because he's been terrible. Saw a graphic that said Glennon has the worst winning percentage of any quarterback in NFL history. Well, I don't know what the base is for how many starts that is that you have to have, but yeah, they're terrible. Oh well, here's one that'll go get a lot of confidence points. Indianapolis Colts at Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe I take Green Bay down to 14 because Indianapolis is going to be fired up. And I don't think they're resting anybody and put them in at 16 because they're going to try to kill the Jaguars, and they may do it. Last week we were talking about Derrick Henry, and Jonathan Thomas, and I'll wow, I saw a or Jonathan Taylor, I'm sorry, and I saw a stat that just blew me away. I'm trying to see if I can find it now. Anyway, I probably can't. And Eric, I gotta give you credit, man. You were ahead of me on Jonathan Taylor. Wow, what a running back! I knew he was good. I knew he was good, but someone put up a statistic or a chart showing running backs or first downs picked up by running backs. Jonathan Taylor has like 90 first downs this year. And like the number two guy has like 40, it's like 40 first downs behind him. Man. It's just, it's an amazing thing. This guy, I didn't real. I mean, I understood that he was an up and coming running back. I knew he was good. I just didn't realize how good this guy is. And they're talking about him joining the MVP conversation, and yeah, I guess you'd have to put him in that conversation. Dude is killing it. Let's see. I just found a Reddit article. All right. All right. So you may or may not be aware that through 13 games, Taylor has rushed 241 times for 100 or 1,348 yards, averaging 5.6 yard an average and 16 touchdowns. All great numbers. While these numbers themselves are impressive, the rate and volume at which JT is picking up first down is unrivaled, both compared to his contemporary peers as well as his historical ones. If we take a player's total rushing attempts and the number of first downs they have gained on the ground and divide them first downs versus attempts, we get a percentage which shows how frequently a player gains a first down. The more frequently a player gains a first down, the better. The more first downs a player gains, the better. 2021, this season so far, there have been 36 running backs that have at least 100 rushing attempts. If we chart the data, it becomes rather clear just how far JT is ahead, not only in total first downs gained, but the rate at which he gets them. All right, I compiled all the individual seasons since 1994 in which a running back has gained at least 80 rushing first downs combined with the percentage of first downs. Once again, Taylor is just a complete outlier. He probably won't break the the single season record for rushing yards or TDs, but he has a chance of besting Sean Alexander's record of 107 first downs if he can gain 24 or more first downs in his last 4 games. So this was done a month ago. Yeah, he's the statistic I saw had him somewhere in the 90s this week. Wow. I'd really like to see Tennessee match up against Indy. I think Henry is supposed to be healthy for the playoffs. That's what I'm hearing too. I've heard that. Matter of fact, what I read today was that the Titans are looking at bringing him on to some kind of practice or making him available for practice somehow. I can't remember off the top of my head I don't think it's putting him on the practice squad, but he has to. I think they have to, some kind of list or something. I don't know, but the idea is to get him going again and bring him in for the playoffs, and that would be a Tennessee Colts matchup would be very interesting to see King Henry and Jonathan Taylor go at it. That would be an incredible game. He gets the 3s and 2s and the 4 and 1s the hard way too. Yeah, yeah. I was just blown away when I saw. Let's see. It was in the. I'm in a Facebook group called NFL Enthusiast, and I'm pretty sure Summer Lattimore put the stat up. I don't know how quick I can get to it, but because they post quite frequently in this forum, because there's a lot of trash talking that happens in this forum. I gotta tell you, a lot of trash talking. And a lot of a lot of folks in this forum a lot of them are fans of NFC East teams, so they go pretty hard at it. Let's see here. I'm scrolling, and I don't think I'm going to see it. Seeing a lot of pictures of Antonio Brown. Oh, I tell you what, and that of course that story's not getting told fully either. I know he made a spectacle of himself, but what I don't understand is how do you from what I've heard, um, from what I heard, Brown, who has been nursing a sore ankle, told them they tried to get him to go back in the game. He said that his ankle was he didn't think his ankle would hold up. He was telling them that he didn't think he could go back in the game. They told him, I think it made it sound like they were telling him he couldn't stay on the field if he didn't go back in. So why would you put that guy in that position? Why would you? I mean, are you trying to punish the guy for not feeling that he can go back in if he's telling you that he can't perform? I mean, you kind of got to listen to him because they were trailing. They were trying to catch up, and they eventually did and won. But if he's on the field instead of somebody who can perform, maybe they don't make the play, right? So if his ankle's bothering him that bad, I mean, you can't get inside the guy's head. You can think that, oh well, he's dogging it. Well, you can suspect it, but you don't know. And why would you put him out there and then put him in a position where, okay, well, if you're not on the field, then you got to go. What you got to get off the field, or you got to go back to the what were they telling them? And so you can't treat the guy like a child. Of course, see, I mean, everybody's got an ego. You can't put a grown man. What are they trying to do? Put him in timeout? All right, you go sit in the locker room then. Of course, he's going to blow up. So I don't think this is the whole story. I'd like to know the whole story. And that could very well be too. I mean, because But if he's unwell, you know, that didn't help. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of players that if you told them, all right, well, if you don't go out on the field, you got to go to the locker room. They ain't going to be treated like a child like that. So, but I don't know. I mean, that's all speculation. That nobody knows for sure except for the coaches and the players that were down there on the sideline. But I'd be curious to see over the next couple of weeks if any of Brown's teammates say, yeah, this happened or that happened. Yeah, it was tough to watch. It was tough to watch because, and I agree about the unwell part. I mean, it's alarming how unstable, because you got to think he played for 9 years in Pittsburgh, right? It wasn't until the very end that you got a picture of him being unstable. So for what, the first 7, 8 years of his career, he got along with everybody. He was able to hold down a job. Then all of a sudden something happens and he's out of Pittsburgh. He goes to the Raiders. He doesn't even, I don't think he ever played a game for the Raiders. Goes to the Patriots. That doesn't work out. Then down to Tampa Bay. And I guess they tried to hold it together the best they could, but then it fell apart on him there too. So, you know, hope the guy. I'm legitimately worried for his health. I hope he gets help, the help he needs, because I don't want to read about a tragedy in the future. I mean, that stuff's nothing to play around with. Your mental health is, I worked with the homeless, so I've met a lot of men with mental health issues, and I don't think people understand. If you've got your mental health together, count your blessings, because that's not always something that's in a person's control, and especially a football player, because it is a violent game. All right, let's look at some of these games again. We got Baltimore Ravens at Pittsburgh Steelers. No. That's at Baltimore. I read it backwards. I was going to say I thought Pittsburgh's Monday night game was Roethlisberger's last home game. Boy, neither one of these teams are up to snuff. I think I do like the Ravens just a little bit better. I won't put much on this. Where we got 2 left or not? What have I used up? All right, I got 2 left there. That's what I think about that game. I could go either way. Ravens can be good when they show up, but it's a matter of showing up, and they have been terribly inconsistent this year. Oh well, here we go. Here's another. Yeah. Where are we at? I cannot see. We'll give them 13 spot, because that's going to be a blowout. I got a feeling. Tennessee at Houston. And I don't think Tennessee is in a place to not play hard. So yeah, Tennessee's going to kill them. New Orleans Saints at Atlanta. We got to go Atlanta. We're not going to put much on it, but the Saints are really struggling. And of course, it's just just one of those situations where they're playing with quarterbacks that just aren't. I mean, you got to hope that maybe. Let's see here. Let's look up New Orleans Saints. Unless they get back Taysom Hill or something, they got them back. Maybe they did, but they just. All right, so they did put up 18. I guess they beat the Panthers. Why did I think that they had gotten whooped? They hadn't put up much points prior to that, and uh, hmm. So it looks like the Saints defense. Well, still, I like Matt Ryan here, and I have. Man, that's just hard. Did I see this? Houston is broken. Yeah, they're broken bad. They're broke bad. Uh, then we got the Buffalo or the New York Jets at Buffalo Bills, and normally I would say Bills, Bills, Bills. But New York gave Tampa Bay everything they wanted last week. They have been playing pretty decent, but I don't think they're going to beat Buffalo. And we might as well put that 12 right there on it. They ain't beating Buffalo. Saints are playing for a winning season. I assume they'll play hard. I don't think they have a shot at the playoffs. Yeah, it's just when I look at the Saints, I see a defense that's just really good. I mean, a really good defense. But let's face it, they were playing the Panthers with Cam Newton. And so you just have to create enough mistakes with Newton, and then I mean their offense is in a bad spot right now. I don't see it getting better. Um, I just don't see it getting better. And the Falcons are, come on, there's like a world of difference between Matt Ryan and Cam Newton, and so I kind of like. Okay, so I think Saints need a win and a San Francisco loss. I don't think we've looked at have we looked at, the 49ers are next. They're playing the Rams. Well, they might get it. They might get the 49er loss. I'm picking the Rams in this game. I think the Rams are starting to find themselves. But the question is, can the Saints put up enough points to counter Matt Ryan and the Atlanta offense? They've really got to shut down Matt Ryan. Well, I'll tell you what we do real quick. Let's see how long ago it was when the Saints played the Falcons. So, where are you, Falcons? Where's that first game? All right. So, back in November, back in November, the Falcons beat the Saints 27-25 in New Orleans. Looks like Trevor Siemian played most of the game. Taysom Hill only had a couple of throws. Yeah. Rams get hot, a quarterback. Get a hot quarterback, and they might ruin the playoffs for some teams. Rams have been good, but Stafford tapered off. He needs to find his stride again. Yeah, I kind of think he's doing that. And I noticed while I was listening to someone talk about how two of the big plays were made by Odell Beckham Jr. and linebacker from Denver that they picked up, Von Miller. So maybe those guys are starting to find their way with this team too. Yeah, I like the Rams against San Francisco, no doubt. In fact, let's put 11 on it. Oh man, New England at Miami. After the beating we took last week, what do we got? Can this team regroup again? We beat the Patriots in the first game of the season. I'm taking my Dolphins. I just won't put much on it. Let's see. What do we got? Let's drop that. We'll split the difference. I'll put 7 on them. Historically, we have been a problem for the Patriots in Miami, especially late in the season. What concerns me about the Patriots would be their running game. If they do to us kind of what the Titans did, run a lot between the tackles, but probably not the best part of our defense. Mac, everybody's saying, well, this is not the same Patriots team the Dolphins faced in week 1. Well, the Dolphins aren't the same team either. We'll see how Mac Jones picks up that blitz. The blitz is working. The blitz is working. Okay, maybe it didn't work last week, but it's been working. That's been kind of one of the things in our big turnaround. We've been getting a lot of pressure. We're leading the NFL in sacks. There's a lot of things we're not doing right. Hopefully, we can overcome them. There's things that need to be addressed. One, the Dolphins need to decide is Tua their guy or not. Quit straddling this fence. Quit courting Deshaun Watson if Tua is your guy. Just stop it. Let's bring in somebody. We need somebody. We need a good offensive coordinator that can. And I think we need to start installing more pro-style offense and get away from all the RPOs. Now, I know RPOs are Tua's strength. And the RPOs probably help because our offensive line is trash. It probably helps, against people just all out blitzing, maybe. I don't know. I just know that I think we need a more varied offensive attack. Uh, so, I mean, when this is all done, what they need to do is concentrate. What we need are some studs on that offensive line. We need, and I think we picked that up. You can pick some good guys up through the draft, but we also need to go out and get a couple of veteran studs that can lay the hammer on somebody and show younger offensive linemen how it's done in the NFL. And that needs to be our number one concern. The other thing we need to do is think about drafting a feature back. I mean, this run by committee is good, but okay. And they might actually improve too with a good offensive line. And then the other thing we need to do is address wide receiver. And because we've got a hot wide receiver in Jalen Watt, I think this guy is going to be an absolute. He could be a Hall of Famer. I mean, he is absolutely just a wonderful wide receiver. I suspected he was going to be good all the way from training camp. But the problem is the guy that we got from the Texans, which I'm blanking on his name because he hasn't been on the field very much, is a bust. Will Fuller. Gotta let him go. He has not played, and nothing personal. Could be a great guy. But let's quit eating that salary and not having him on the field. He's played one game for us maybe. And then we have to address Devante Parker. And I don't know where his salary is at, what his contract looks like. I like Devante Parker. You can throw the ball up to him. He will go get it. I like his play when he's on the field, but he misses too much. And that has to be looked at. And that has to be addressed. And I hope there's a way we can keep him, but he can't be the number one guy. He just can't stay on the field. So those are some of the things the Dolphins need to look at. Hopefully they'll beat the Patriots. Seattle at Arizona. Arizona all the way. The Seahawks, I think, have checked out. That may not be fair, but I think they definitely have some issues. We'll even put 10 right there. Oh, Tampa Bay at Carolina. Come on. Tampa Bay playing for something. They're going to kill this team. Carolina is just lost. Cam Newton is not the answer. I probably should switch this with another game, get more points on it, confidence points. The Chargers and the Raiders. That's a good closing game. I like the Chargers though. We'll put the 8 there. Let's go back and look at some of these other three. Oh yeah, we're going to put some good points on Kansas City. Then I think Dallas gets the 5 and they get the 4. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's look at some scores. Kansas City may not score that much on Denver. They got a good defense. This may be a lower scoring game than what we're used to from them. I do think they'll win significantly, but 24-10 looks pretty good. I think let's go with that for Chargers Raiders. Who's going to score the most this week? Who's going to score the least? I'm going to say least. I'm going to say Carolina. Because Tampa Bay is going to come in wanting to put their foot down on their throat, choke them out. And I think that'll happen. I have no confidence in Carolina right now. Most points. Might go Bucks. Because I don't think Kansas City will score as much as they normally do against Denver. Green Bay will rest people, so I don't think they'll be the top scorer. Indianapolis. Maybe I'll go Indianapolis because they may just, they're going to be looking to annihilate Jacksonville. All right. So did we talk about everything this week? We talked a little bit about Antonio Bryant's meltdown. Of course, I'm going to talk about my Dolphins, trying to think of any other big stories that need to be addressed. I think the Antonio Bryant incident's probably the biggest one. There is the lawsuit that could be pending against Washington, where those Eagle fans leaned up against that railing and fell. And hard to say which way that will go. They're saying they were denied medical attention. Washington says that they offered it. We'll see what's proven there. Will Washington be held liable for these fans falling? Kind of hard to say. I mean, that railing wasn't really designed for having a big crowd lean on it like they were. It's possible it could go to court and maybe the fans are disappointed because they're, I'm sure the Washington will argue that they had been in their seats and not leaning on that rail, it wouldn't have happened. I think probably everybody in the league will be looking at their railings near the tunnels and making sure they're reinforced now. Because the good thing is at least Jalen Hurt wasn't injured, because he was almost to that tunnel area when that rail collapsed. And fortunately, there weren't any fans seriously hurt. I heard there were some injuries. All right. Well, it looks like everyone's gone. So I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be here next week at 9 o'clock to discuss the final week, and then we'll go from there with the playoffs. So until next week, peace.